Hey, it's Daniel again, still talking about my drug addiction, continued from the previous videos. So, so here's what happened. I started to go insane and I was trying to meditate so that this vision I had of an egg would open up and birth me into the next dimension. And I still used alcohol from time to time. I think I had stopped using cigarettes. And I was scared of insanity. There came a time when I couldn't feel things that well anymore, and each night I would try to ration the amount of Ativan or lorazepam that I took, and I started to take Seroquel, and I tried to I started trying to withdraw from Ativan because I thought I need to get my life back together. I need to get off of this crap. And so each night, there was a period before I went insane. Each night I would pray to God and I would start crying and I would ask him please just let me be sane. I just want to be sane. And I started crying, and well, then I went into psychosis eventually. In September of 2011, I ended up being in a psychotic episode. I think I withdrew too quickly from the Ativan, the lorazepam, and I was on a drug that made me crazy called Seroquel, which is an antipsychotic, but for some reason I went insane when I took it. And so I started to see everything cycle and be in its own world. Everything started to cycle and the energy in my mind couldn't escape, so it just started cycling, and it felt like my eyes were supposed to go backwards. And I went insane, and I admitted myself right before I almost committed suicide. And I dropped the knife, and right when that happened, I got the ambulance called, and that's a story in and of itself. Maybe I'll explain it one day, I don't know, but in the hospital, I went through these feelings of being mind controlled and having this excitotoxicity where things too much was happening and I couldn't handle it and all that. And once I was released, it was like my whole world was over. I found Vyvanse again, the stimulant, in the house. There were tons of places where the weed was hidden. And so I started smoking again, 1 week back into the house. I started taking Vyvanse, and I remember feeling like my life was over, and I tried to cry, but because of how traumatic my experience had been at the hospital, I couldn't cry that well, and it was like a fake cry that my life had been destroyed. And I started smoking weed, I took Vyvanse, I started smoking hash, which was awful, and from the first time I started smoking weed, I started to hear this voice, and it was telling me it was telling me bad things. It was this continuous repetitive voice that kept repeating one word. And I don't want to say what it was, but it was a bad word. Well, basically I heard kill all the time. And I was in this cycle of being on my stimulant, playing some video games, then smoking weed, then being asleep. And then one day I took, I'll say this in the next video actually. It'll be the last part, perhaps.